Hey, welcome back. Here we are at Psyche Cafe, and the subject matter that I'm talking about is adoption awareness. And what this is just the ramblings of an adoptee. I sit here and I think, I feel this way, and I think, oh my goodness, there's like babies out there right now feeling like I felt. When you have unprocessed grief that resurfaces after years of being repressed, of not knowing where to go, of not feeling like you could even talk about it. I don't think people really understand the profound and, well, it's a lot like being kidnapped. Um, it, it basically is being kidnapped, and except that, people have preyed on your mother and gotten her in a very vulnerable stage. She's in the creation stage, and people get jealous. They're jealous about women who can make babies, and especially the ones that don't. I'm not saying my adopted mom is a mean, vicious person, but a baby is what they want, and sometimes we just go, we go a little insane ourselves. So that the sanctity of the mother-child bond is challenged. That's what I'm here to talk about, because I just feel like we need to have some reforms out here that protect children, and because adoption is not protecting children, you are not doing these children any good by taking them from their mothers. It's just not profitable at all. And I'm just gonna ramble on about this, and I'm not here to make sense, because adoption doesn't make sense, okay? So I don't have to come into this arena and where everybody's trying to make sense of it, and where everybody's restricting my people and telling them, well, you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to be like this and you have to act like that to get the love and emotional support you need. Fuck that. Screw that. Emotional nurturing is what we need. And the person we need it from is our mother. But the problem is she's brainwashed. She's thinking that she no longer has a job with taking care of you, even though God hired her himself. Okay? Put the baby right in here. Proof's in the pudding, guys. Come on. And that we are living a society, and we're saying this is okay. Listen, I am going to ramble and ramble and ramble, and I hope that I'm a burr in your side. I'm going to stab at your heart. I'm going to tell you how it feels. If I make you cry, I hope I do. Because you know what? It's time to change. It's time to change, and you need to know what it feels like to have this done to you. And I'm going to make sure you remember me, and you remember the pain that this has caused me. Because no matter what, I have a good life, and I have someone to love me, and I appreciate that. But I have another person that I love and care for too, who basically just turned me into obsessed about my mother, because you guys took her away and then gave me somebody else. And thank you. Nice try at clearing my family name and the shame off of my entrance into this world. Thanks a lot, world. But I think we can do better than that. I think that a child who is placed in a woman that placement should be respected. It's a natural order. It's a natural placement. If the mother passes, well, then we have to make some choices, but it should always be for the family first. And if the family is lacking, then we need to have support, and that's what the social services should be doing: supporting families to stay together, not ripping them apart and giving them to strangers, and making these people taking away their only hope to ever be. You've taken away the one thing that was precious that they made, and then you're gonna stand there and point your finger as you stand on your pulpit, pointing at these women who've given up their children, and you're going to damn them because they do drugs to try and cope with the pain of relinquishment. Fuck you. It's time for a change, and it's going to be radical, and I'm leading it. I don't care about anybody else as far as, like, you do what you want to do, but I'm not going to condone this anymore, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to speak out about it until I run this rat out of town. Because adoption is not God's best. It's second best. God's best was when he gave the child to the woman and placed it within her belly. That was God's best. And God knows what he's doing. You know, for we don't know what is inside of a person, but a child will bring it out. And that's not for us to mess with. We are messing with sacred stuff here. And we are basically tearing up our own foundation and wondering why the world is in chaos. Just think about it. How many people, how many children have been ripped from their families? That's a broken person. Now you've got the parents that are a broken person, and then you've got the adoptive parents that are broken as well. And the thing is that broken meaning like not like they can't work, they're functioning, but this does not soothe the pain. It actually makes it worse, because the adoptive parents now has to look at the fact that have to live with the fact that some other woman just gave her baby away, something so precious that they wanted so much, that they were even willing to pay for it, that they wanted that so much. But is that what God is calling us to do? Is God calling us to pay money for somebody else's baby? The higher law would ask us to ask ourselves is, why are we calling that baby a mistake? You know, and, you know, it's almost like we're taking advantage of women who are outside of wedlock or caught in, you know, with not as much knowledge. And I just think that that's foul play. You know, we're taking advantage of people who have less understanding, and then the baby's gone and they understand to the fullest. And it has cut them so deep that they can't even hardly function. You know, and they're just grief-stricken forever. And the thing about it is, it's like no way back. You know, I've talked to birth mothers who are trying to bridge that gap, and then the daughter, you know, say the daughter or the child just cuts them off. You know, it's the misinformation, especially on the birth mothers, because, you know, these kids are coming back and the birth mothers are just so misinformed, thinking that, oh, everything's fine, you know. They're like, oh, yay, we go on. No, trauma's happened here. If you've got trauma in you, honey, there's trauma in your kid, okay? And the only way to face that, and see, it's really hard for the birth mothers to face that because they feel such shame and they feel like they've done something wrong. And, you know, listen, everybody gets into situations. And, you know, I'm not judging anybody. I'm saying this modality does not work, and this is what it caused for me. Now, I know there's other people out there that feel the same, but most of them are too scared to talk about it. Because, you know, you got to do the work. And you've got to realize the worst of it's all over. And that's what I'm doing, because I've already been hurt. You can't really hurt me anymore. You can't reject me anymore. And, you know, when people... I mean, I just keep getting back up. You know, it still hurts me because I have that pain, but it hasn't killed me. And I'm strong. So that's probably why I'm out speaking, just because I realize that I'm strong, and that this is something that we need a little bit more intel about. And I think that adoptees have a huge amount of intel. We've got a lot of data about how it feels, what it's like, and we've got the truth, you know, about what people say about adoptees and what they say about your parents and how it makes you feel as a person, you know, and you know, what it's like to have to defend your mother, you know, because she gave you up for adoption. You know, I mean, it's not our fault that society brainwashed her and that she fell prey to this, you know, and that she, yeah, my mother was personally, she was Catholic, raised Catholic, so that means the church kept her ignorant, and then they just basically condoned for her to do this for me. But that's great. She didn't kill me. That's good. But now I'm here, and the cat's out of the bag, and I'm just sharing how I feel, and I feel like this needs to be out there. And it was really, really difficult for me to get to this place because it's there is a valid fear within the child because at time of relinquishment, the trauma that's done to us is so deep, and it's done at such a young age that there's a lot of doors and a lot of locks you have to unlock inside our brains of things that, like silence, that keep us safe. We are silent to be safe. And, I feel that, and I know now, because I faced it, I turned. Instead of letting it be like a monkey on my back, I turned and I faced those fears of worrying about being rejected and re-abandoned. And, when you start telling people the truth, they say, oh, you're trying to push me away. And it's like, well, if I can push you away, then go. Because I really don't need that. But you might look at it a little differently and think that maybe I'm challenging you. I'm presenting a challenge for you to rise in your humanities, to rise in your compassion, and to rise in your mentality, and to rise in your willingness to hear another human being's experience out and maybe allow it to change your mind, to see it differently. Because I feel that my story has validity, and I feel that the story of my people has validity, and we hold the raw data. We have lived it, so we know, and I'm saying bad idea in the sense of a solution for illegitimacy, rape. Yeah, I'm going to go there. And, just getting pregnant haphazardly. So I do feel that some responsibility needs to be taken on the part of women, and we need to educate our young girls so that they are properly prepared. But if a baby comes along, by no means do we need to say to her, oh, get rid of it, Oh, you want to go to college? That's what you wanted to do? But you've got this baby. Yeah, you need to get rid of it. As far as I can see, that's not a choice. And the thing about it is we do have free will, yes. But free will is not free. And you're actually damning a piece of you by doing that. So if you give your child away, you're damning yourself, because that's a piece of you. It's gonna grow in your stomach, and if you abort it, same thing happens. You're just damning a piece of you from being co-created within you because of what? Some mental constraint that society has put on us, that the church has preached on us, and that society has swallowed. And you know what? We need to throw that one up. Not good. Poison. Poison to society, poison to the fabric of humanity, and poison to our souls and what is going on here. We're not thinking about the co-creative process and all this kind of stuff. The fact of the matter is we're not thinking how small we are on this little piece of dirt and that we dangle in space. Okay? So, people are like, get realistic. Get realistic. We are dangling in the air. That's real. So we live in a mystical, magical, amazing world. But what we're doing, we really need to look at our moral compass. Things just got to change. It's just got to change. Okay. That's all my ramblings for today on Psyche Cafe. Like, comment, please. Let's don't be mean, but I'm going to take you whatever you got. If you got an issue and you feel like I need to hear what you have to say, I may respond back. I may feature you. So, let's get this conversation started, and let's bring about change. I'm ready to change this. I'm ready for adoption to be gone, and I'm ready for us to start getting new social modalities in place that support the family in staying together, and that educate women, children, families as to how to be better parents and stuff like that. So I just feel like we need to go higher and deeper and better. And my story is one of the reasons why no one should feel the way I felt at 2 days old in a crib without my mother.